Chapter 2187, Prism, Melgar. Yes, Your Majesty. The standoff between the two sides of mutants was broken first by the mutant of the Wulwan Emperor. In the void, light and shadow twisted silently. A sense of impending danger enveloped Deng Shintong and the others ahead. Uncle Yu, clad in full battle armor, stood at the front of the group. Suddenly, he heard a sharp snap. A shallow yet distinct gash appeared on his jet-black armor, its origin unknown. Huh! Uncle Yu froze momentarily, but quickly noticed the warping light before him. More gashes instantly appeared on his armor. At that very moment, Deng Shintong abruptly stepped in front of Uncle Yu. Uncle Yu, this opponent is ours. You handle the others. His gaze burned as he fixed his eyes on the short, girl-like female lizard man ahead. Prism, Melgar, a release department ability user. She can manipulate light into lethal weapons, taking lives silently and without warning. Deng Shintong was already well acquainted with the abilities of the person before him. He reminded everyone over the communication channel, don't let them disrupt your rhythm. Stick to our plan, everyone find their own opponent. The group nodded in unison, then rushed forward to attack their respective targets. Their movements were perfectly synchronized, without a hint of hesitation, as if rehearsed 1,000 times. Yet the Wulwan Empire's special forces severely lacked understanding of human mutants. Unable to make swift decisions, they could only passively accept the challenge. In Epsilon-level combat, each side isolated their battlefields to avoid friendly fire. Ultimately, specific targeting combinations formed against the 10 high-ranking war zone commanders of the Wulwan Empire and the silver armor general of the Black Chariot level. Intelligence is the key to warfare. Everything unfolding now had been simulated countless times in Yang Xinshin's calculations. Victory was not the goal. Total victory, victory with minimal casualties, was the objective. Each person had found their opponent. What they needed to do now was replicate their training process, eliminate the target. Yet battlefield realities shift in an instant, not everything can be fully rehearsed. Careful execution to secure the final outcome remains paramount. Eastern Battlefield Commander Bang, fighting on home turf, faced the duo of Xidagarba King, Shang Daowen and the Great Sage, Heaven's equal, Sun Wukong. Bang stared intently at the two figures ahead, his gaze as cold and menacing as a venomous snake. He could sense the formidable power of this duo. Bang's ability index stood at 26,000 points, while Shang Daowen's was 25,000 points. Theoretically, even fighting alone and with intelligence advantages, Shang Daowen could hold his own against Bang. As for Sun Wukong, his presence provided Shang Daowen with an extra layer of insurance. A nin user paired with a guy wielding a staff. He seems to be an enhancement type, incredibly powerful. But is that nin user even stronger? This is truly troublesome. Bang felt the strain instantly. The opponent's combination held a powerful counter to his abilities. His bomb mania power required physical contact to activate. One opponent possessed formidable physical strength, making him difficult to instantly defeat even if weaker. The other could manipulate telekinesis, preventing Bang from launching bomb attacks. An uncomfortable feeling surfaced in Bang's mind. It felt as if they had deliberately chosen these two mutants specifically for him. But in battles between mutants, improvisation reigns supreme. And here, on my home turf, I hold the advantage. Bang's right foot slammed into the ground with a thunderous impact. In the next instant, the earth exploded outward in a violent blast, radiating from his position. Layer upon layer of solid rock and earth was hurled skyward, sending a torrent of debris flying in all directions. Amidst the dust, countless stones shot toward Shang Daowen and Sun Wukong like arrows. Watch out for those rocks. They're rigged with bombs. Shang Daowen shouted the warning while extending his right hand. Invisible psychokinetic force radiated outward from him, colliding violently in midair and instantly halting the stone barrage. Boom! Sure enough, the debris exploded midair. Sun Wukong wiped his nose with a finger. As planned, cover me for the attack. Shang Daowen nodded, then spread his arms wide. Like a deity descending to earth, his posture was elegant, yet it caused the surrounding ruins to rise directly from the ground. Rumble. The destroyed structures, along with damaged mechanical lifeforms and war beasts, shot skyward before crashing down toward Baum. Countless building fragments, including some massive ruins, descended like a sky-darkening avalanche. According to intelligence, Bang's physical strength doesn't meet the standards of the enhancement system. Even with lizardfolk's superior physical strength over humans and the protection of silver battle armor, this kind of attack would still be a headache, right? Seeing this massive barrage of heavy objects hurtling toward him, Bang knew that even with his battle armor, being struck would still cause injury. Yet he remained unflustered, swiftly drawing his short bow and nocking an arrow. This attack looks terrifying. But if we reduce these massive building debris to dust, they'll be useless. A dark yellow energy orb coalesced into shape. As he released his right hand, countless beams of light arrows were unleashed across the vast expanse of the sky. Whoosh! 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 The dark yellow light arrows struck the falling structures in the sky, merging directly into them. Soon after, the structures erupted in blinding light before exploding mid-air. The relentless chain of explosions reduced the massive objects to dust. Bang's bomb explosive power was staggering, even a skyscraper was reduced to debris with seemingly effortless ease. The resulting dust cloud engulfed the area in haze, though it couldn't harm Bang in the slightest. Yet the next instant, a terrifying sonic boom reverberated in Bang's ears. It was the effect of an object moving faster than the speed of sound. Hey! A cold laugh echoed, followed by a massive club smashing through the thick gray fog, hurtling straight toward his body. Bang's eyes widened instantly. Though he had deflected Shang Daowen's assault, the resulting poor visibility had allowed Sun Wukong to close in for the kill. That massive club was moving far too fast. By the time Bang's consciousness registered the threat, his body was already too late to evade. After all, the physical prowess of an enhancement-type mutant was no joke. Chapter 2188, External Incarnation. Bang's abilities maximized offense but left his defense severely lacking. Now, he had no choice but to rely on his battle armor, thrusting his right arm forward to block the staff. Bam! Sun Wukong's Rui Jingu Bang slammed into Bang's arm, shattering something audibly. The golden staff struck Bang's arm, then the force carried through, slamming heavily into his body. Bang was sent flying hundreds of meters away, like a bullet leaving the barrel. Bang's form was unstable mid-air, presenting a perfect opportunity to strike. Sun Wukong swung his staff backward and charged at breakneck speed toward the spot where Bang would land. His speed surpassed even Bang's mid-air flight. This strike will shatter your skull. Sun Wukong's eyes blazed with the excitement of imminent glory. But his triumph was cut short when a terrifying golden light erupted from his right hand. A searing heat engulfed his arm. When he glanced at his right hand, he saw his Rui Jingu Bang violently swelling. The method of using bomb mania is to turn any object it touches into a bomb. Sun Wukong finally realized. In the brief time he struck Bang, Bang had activated his ability, turning the Rui Jingu Bang into a bomb. Damn it! Boom! The Rui Jingu Bang in his hand exploded instantly, unleashing a terrifying shockwave at the point of impact. Blinding light shot skyward, accompanied by a massive mushroom cloud. Witnessing this from mid-air, Bang's lips curled into a faint smirk. Though his body bore significant injuries, the severed arm and 2 fractured ribs were not fatal. Moreover, these external wounds could be swiftly healed with an injection of medication. After landing, he stabilized himself, rapidly administered the healing drug, and glanced up to observe the ability user in the sky. Sun Wukong's figure reappeared mid-air. This time, however, he held no staff in his hands. Is it a clone-like ability? Bang made his judgment. He had clearly seen Sun Wukong enveloped by the explosion. It was impossible for him to emerge unscathed. Shang Daowen frowned. Any attack that touches his body risks backfiring on the attacker. He looked at Sun Wukong. You have one last use of your external incarnation. Be careful. Sun Wukong rubbed his nose. Losing his weapon still stung a bit. He really is a tough nut to crack. Shang Daowen said, of course. These guys are battle-hardened veterans. Even knowing their abilities, you still have to be extra cautious in actual combat. But, he murmured, I never expected his reaction speed to be this fast. As Shang Daowen spoke, he raised his hand, lifting towering buildings from the ground once more and hurling them with brutal force toward the direction where Bomb stood. Dozens of skyscrapers were lifted by him as if they were toys. He paid no heed to Bomb's abilities, casually smashing them down upon him. Bang suddenly realized what Shang Daowen intended to do. This was East City, the territory he defended. It wasn't just a front line, it held countless soldiers and their families, with ordinary lizard men civilians in the rear. Shang Daowen could unleash massive attacks without restraint. Even if they didn't sufficiently harm Bang, they could annihilate vast numbers of lizard men soldiers' dependents and ordinary lizard men. An open strategy. Shang Daowen's attacks, either he blocks them all, or he watches his own people die. Bang's gaze grew increasingly dark, yet he showed no hesitation. Ignoring the skyscrapers crashing into the rear, he deftly dodged and parried the attacks aimed at him. Behind him, deafening explosions echoed as colossal structures crashed into residential zones. Like meteors from the heavens, they not only killed countless people but triggered devastating chain reactions. Shattered debris could kill, and the collapsing buildings would crush even more lizard folk beneath the rubble. Yet Bang's face remained utterly expressionless. As the commander of a regional defense force, his heart was as hard as iron. He knew what must be sacrificed to achieve victory. How ruthless! Shang Daowen sneered from the sky above. You can stand by and watch the people you're supposed to protect die without batting an eye. Lizard folk truly are cold-blooded creatures, devoid of emotion. No, you're wrong. Bang retorted with a cold laugh. What we protect is the entire Wulwan Empire, our entire race. If we abandon the greater good because we couldn't bear to sacrifice individuals, our race would have vanished long ago in the river of history. He spread his arms, drew his shortbow, and a terrifying mass of energy began gathering frantically. Sacrificing some for the survival of our race is only natural. I won't be swayed by sentimentalism. The energy sphere erupted violently, transforming into a sky-filling hail of arrows. They soared toward the heavens with even greater ferocity, sealing off the entire area where Shang Daowen and Sun Wukong stood. Shang Daowen's eyes narrowed as he spread his hands forward. Open! Telekinetic force spread invisibly, forming a massive barrier that redirected every arrow targeting his area toward other directions. After completing his defense, Shang Daowen made an odd gesture with his right hand, fisting it, then extending his thumb and index finger. As if cocking a gun. He aimed his index finger at Bang and murmured softly. Boom! A colossal, formless beast suddenly materialized in the sky, invisible to the naked eye. Yet the energy fluctuations were starkly visible to Bang, like a transparent whale hundreds of meters long, spreading its fins as it plunged toward him. Psychokinesis gun, the most straightforward yet utterly effective psychokinetic attack. Compressing telekinesis into a shock-wave-like assault capable of fracturing material structures. Feeling this attack approach, Bang felt utterly helpless for the first time. Because psychokinesis had no physical form. Meaning his bomb mania ability couldn't block this strike. Without hesitation, Bang activated his silver armor's evasion ability the instant the psychic bullet neared. The moment he escaped the area, the ground shattered. Not a thunderous explosion, but as if microscopic particles were being decomposed by some force, the entire region instantly turned to sand. Bang's pupils sharply contracted. This guy's ability completely counters mine.